Aren't we all?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we talked about it a little bit after the game this past week. It seems like every week, you know, you look at the game and you're like, man, this is a big one. This is a big one, and it's just another one of those. I think we just, once again, we can worry about that when the game's all said and done, but just go out there and focus on winning.
You've been through a lot of big games throughout the course of your career, but is it even for you a little bit surreal that 2 months ago you had a team and now you got a chance to clinch a playoff spot in a couple days?
I guess to a certain extent, but when you come back out here and you kind of get with everybody and you start playing games, you kind of fall right back into feeling like you've been doing this for a while. So at this point, it feels pretty good to be back out there.
Joe, you're a big story in New York this week. What are your feelings about the Jets and them not calling you back when you're waiting at home?
Listen, man, you know, there's all kinds of things that happen throughout the course of the season and off-season and things like that. And I enjoyed my time while I was there, and you know, it is what it is. I'm happy to be where I am, that's for sure. Listen, there's 30 teams in the NFL. I got a lot of guys over there I really respect, and had an awesome few years with in that locker room. So a lot of respect for those guys.
Joe, what's been the most kind of surreal moment over the course of the last month or so as you've kind of gone through this whole thing? You know, the moment where you kind of, you know, maybe left you shaking your head the most.
Yeah, listen, I think to a certain extent you can look at the whole thing and do that if you want to. But like I said, I think when you're in the moment, you just kind of fall back into, you know, another season, another locker room, and going out there and playing football. And when you're on the field on Sundays and you're playing football, you can find, you know, you can feel like you're at home, so that stuff kind of goes away. And like I said, I'm not really thinking about all that stuff at this point. If I wanted to, like I said, it could probably be all of it, but you know, at this point, it's just go out there and play and you know, try to make it as normal as possible.
You made a comment after the game Sunday that at least now that you're playing, you could watch games, whereas when you weren't playing, you were kind of bitter about not playing. So didn't it cross your mind how many times that the Jets didn't call you, considering what they went through on the fourth play?
No, not really. The only reason it crossed my mind is because people ask me, hey, are the Jets going to call you? Like as soon as something happens, you know, like all your buddies and everybody like that. But other than that, no, it really hasn't.
What's the most challenging aspect of having the quick turnaround, being on the road in Houston, and you got to come back and play on Thursday?
I think always when you're talking about these Thursday games, it's going to be the physicality of it. You know, maybe not for the quarterback necessarily, but when you're talking about football, you're talking about, you know, playing a really physical game, and that's the most important thing when it comes down to it in terms of winning games, is the battles in the trenches. So I think that's always the number one thing that we talk about when we talk about these things.
Now that
what about the fact that you guys still have an opportunity to win the AFC North? You've been through a lot of really heated AFC North battles. I know it's not going to be easy, but it's still there for you.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that we can think about. You know, Kevin's really big on 1-0, and you know, all that other stuff kind of falls into place. You just got to go out there and take care of business on the field, and then when the dust settles, you look up and see where you are. But it's really not that important.
Now that you've had a run, how do you feel physically compared to say like a decade ago? Your arm, just your body. Is it really a turn back the clock situation?
Listen, quarterback is like a week-to-week thing in terms of how you feel physically. Some weeks, you know, you can feel like Wednesday, Thursday, and other weeks you can feel great on Monday and Tuesday. I still feel like my body responds pretty well. I'm probably a little bit unrealistic in that. Maybe I don't quite remember being 25 years old anymore. But, you know, there's so many tools that we have available today. People are so much more just aware generally of how to kind of body in shape and the way it should be, and then react to these kind of things the way it should be. So I feel really good about where my body is. But these guys have also done a great job protecting me.
So what was your Christmas like?
What's that?
What was your Christmas like with the family?
Oh, it was great. I think I slept into like 7:30 and got a call from my wife. They were still back then. And they did that Christmas morning thing. And I kind of was sitting there on the table on FaceTime and they weren't paying any attention to me. So, you know, I hung out for a little bit, but then I was like, all right, I'll talk to you later. Get me off of this thing. Let them have fun.
Oh, they didn't come?
They flew out yesterday afternoon. So, like, yesterday evening they got it.
So they get a lot of Browns beer?
They got some Browns beer. They came in with some. They got some more. They're all loaded up.
Joe, have these 5 weeks gone faster? Does it feel like a long time ago that you showed up here not knowing what's going to happen?
Time flies, man. Weeks like don't even exist anymore. The months barely do. You look up and it's like, you know, I mean, it's almost 2024 here. A couple more days, and we're looking at that. So time flies. It goes quick.
Hey Joe, when you got here, obviously your confidence was high enough and stuff like maybe your expectations were a little tempered. I don't know. Has this been beyond what you even expected in terms of your production and how well things have gone?
I mean, you could probably say that just in terms of like, you know, you think you're coming into a good situation with a good team, possibility for this, but you never quite know. It's up to you and your teammates to go out there and do that. And I think that this has been, I think what I've probably noticed is that you kind of from the outside think this is a pretty good situation, but when you get here, it's a pretty bad situation.
I asked you about so many games here in the visit. So you haven't seen this home crowd celebrate that often. So what do you think it could be like Thursday night with a chance at Mitchell?
I haven't really thought about it, you know, to be honest with you, how they take it in.
I want to ask you about that game last year. When you arrived, you said sorry. One of the most memorable games of your career.
It's definitely the craziest finish, and therefore pretty damn epic. I mean, listen, there's like a 99.9% chance in that game. You kind of feel like you're out of it. I mean, in one respect, it is so memorable just because of that. And the other side of it, you're kind of thinking, man, that's just so random. Like, how lucky did we get? You know, there's so many things that have to happen there. So, you know, you see it every week. You know, no matter what, these games tend to come down to the last couple minutes. And that was just another one.
Why does the connection with Amari just work so well?
I mean, I've said it a million times. He's an unbelievable player. As simple as of an answer as it can be. He's just really good. He makes it go.
Joe, back to physicality. In terms of the arm strength and how that passes you out, how would you compare that now to say, look at your 10 years ago? Does it feel like the same?
Listen, you hate to like try to talk about yourself so positive. My arm feels great. You know, I don't know if I can throw the ball quite as far as I did back then. Probably take time out of my game and work on throwing the ball. But in terms of arm strength and you know, just on the intermediate routes and all those types of things, keeping my arm in shape, I think that's the biggest thing. I feel the same way with that.
Christmas party I went to, everybody was talking about Joe Flacco. Have you gotten a sense of how you could capture this town in such a short time?
The city's been unbelievable. I mean, I can't say enough about how welcoming everybody is. Especially, that is the one strange part, I would say. Not necessarily putting on the uniform and playing, but just coming from most of my career and just seeing everybody out. You're right in the part of your day, how welcoming the city's been. You know, back to the surreal thing, that's probably been, it's definitely been surreal in terms of how people that stuff always feels good, you know. So hopefully maybe you don't know.
Just a couple more.
How good is that team? what was running through your mind?
I just watched a few plays. My boys were in there. We let them watch the first half. Dude, they're always there. They're great organization, really well coached, a ton of talent. They make sure they bring the right guys in. You know, you can talk those guys up forever. They're just a really good football team. When they're really rolling, they get better. They get more physical, all those things. Standard stuff, I think, for those guys. I think they should be excited where they are.
Joe, going into this game on Thursday, I know obviously the roster's changed, but your experience with the Jets with this
You kind of have that in the back of your mind. Does it help? Does it hurt? They're probably thinking it helps them. Maybe I'm thinking it helps me. Who knows? You know, you're running a slightly different offense. They're a whole nother year evolved into what they do well. So I think at the end of the day, once you kind of cross over the line, that's really what matters. So all that kind of stuff goes aside. All right, thanks guys.
Thanks, Joe. Jason. I watched that. Tape on Sunday. Yeah, it's losing for getting out of not working a parade day. Your reaction was just like 5 minutes of just, I can't believe he said that.
It adds a lot to the game. With the win, I think we're 100% with the win. So that'll definitely be huge for this franchise and just everything we've been through this season with the injuries and things like that. It'll definitely be good.
You guys have talked a lot about his health defensively. So how excited are you to hear what that building's going to be like at full capacity with you guys on the cusp of picking the playoffs?
Man, it's gonna be a playoff game. They're gonna show us exactly what the playoff atmosphere is gonna be like. So we're definitely super excited.
You obviously were here. So for you, what would it be to get that first playoff win here?
I mean everything. I hate losing. I hate being at the end of the season not playing for anything. But the opportunity to finally get to the playoffs and to be able to clinch it in front of our home I mean, I'm not really a doctor or do any of the training stuff, but that'd definitely be great. Obviously, he's one of the best corners in the NFL, so I'm gonna definitely be great to have him back out there. But you gotta have his coach. Tomorrow is really our Saturday, so it's just getting your body back right. But you know, everybody in the NFL is hurting right now. The Jets are hurting, Ravens are hurting, Carter, every single team is hurting right now. So we kind of don't look at it like that. It's just a challenge. We're up to it.
Just how good is Amari Cooper?
Oh, I say it all the time, man. I feel like he's one of the most underrated receivers in the league, and some can be like, how is that possible? Because everyone knows Amari Cooper, but you know, just the ability that he has to make plays, and you know, a receiver playing with his fourth quarterback is insane. For him to still be so consistent and lead us in so many ways is remarkable. But I said it before, he's the best route runner in the league. He doesn't do a lot of talking out there and all
nothing that's
Yeah, I think it's just like Amari Cooper reminds me of Nick Chubb, but plays the receiver position. They go out there each week, make remarkable plays, get the job done, but doesn't need to talk about their action. They just work and they show you. So I definitely think that has a lot to do with it.
You guys have been so good at how important is that to this team, especially because
Super important. The fans know they'll be there loud for us, but there are 12 men out there. I say it all the time. We got the best fans in the world, so going out there with the energy they bring and what they provide to the opposing offense, and them having to go on silent count every third down and just making some mistakes that really they're causing out there as much as they don't know. They're causing a lot of those extra timeouts they got to use to get in the right stuff. So they provide a big boost.
Greg, everybody feels really bought in this year, obviously, and the wins show it. Why have you guys bought in so much to what Kevin is saying while you're out?
Yeah, I think we just got all the same guys on we all have the same mindset, and that's winning at all costs, no matter what we have to do. Coach just said today, man, no one's here selfish. We'll do whatever it takes to win. You see Myles Garrett out there on field goal block. He's never really done that in his career, but he's going out there extra effort trying to get the block. So I just think we all are just so unselfish and just trying to do whatever it takes to win.
And I guess from Kevin's standpoint as a tone setter, I guess how has he said that to you guys?
I thought he said it right away. As soon as we went to West Virginia for camp, that already shows you what his goal was for us. He accomplished that goal great. But just the ability to just allow us to just be ourselves, allow it to be a player-led team, he's done a great job so far.
Did you try to predict that Jets game last year?
For sure. Being up by a lot and them coming back and winning. Joe Flacco, now he's on our team. So that's amazing. But definitely try to forget it. But you also don't want to forget it. This thing's like this stinking urge to get back out there and prove ourselves from last year's loss. So definitely super excited.
And because of having you guys, is it also a cautionary tale, like game's never over kind of situation? Not that you would ever think of that, but because that did happen to you guys, is that part of the process?
I wouldn't even say it's from that game is never over. I just think it's just from us just playing this entire season. We've been down a lot going into the fourth and coming back, so we just got that resiliency.
Thanks, Greg.
Sorry for that. It's awesome.
one time it like landed on my back. And I kind of shot a little bit locked it up for a second, took a couple plays, but it stayed all right. So I got through the game all right. I'm better than I was last week this time, so it's doing pretty good.
Joe, now the last 3 games, it's just the best the offense has in your tenure here. Sample size, that's all we got.
No, yeah. Thinking back on it, like I think the passing game has been very, very strong. Obviously as a lineman, you're a little whatever it takes to win, but we want a little bit more efficiency in the run game. Our yards per carry and stuff. But I think in the passing game, it's been very, very good. Definitely one of the top 3 game stretches we've had.
The big plays you're getting in the passing game, the verticality that's come with having Joe back there. What type of energy is that injected into the offense? The fact that you guys not only are taking so many deep shots, but you're connecting.
Yeah, the big plays have been nice. It's fun to have like 3-play drives or 1-play drives where you're scoring a touchdown pretty quickly. And I mean, we showed too we could run a like 18 or 20-play drive as well last week. But those big plays are huge. Get points on the board quickly, demoralize the defense, and gives our defense. A lot different in practice. Unfortunately, I saw what he did when he was playing for the Jets against us last year. So there's something in there. But no, he's been great for us. He's been a leader. He's really stayed the ship, and it's we've been thankful to have him.
Even though the offense is this is working always wanted to get to.
I think it just shows that Coach Tracy, kind of personnel what he wants to do. But yeah, in this league, you want to take those shots. You want to have those big plays. Those EPA plays where you can get 75 yards, 80 yards on the pop. I think it matters on who's playing though. As well. When you have a Nick Chubb in the backfield, you'll probably give him a few more carries and stuff like that. But I think it's always been from the day he wants to be a balanced attack, but be able to take those shots when he can.
So what is?
I got next.
The last one. Inside the scoring zone. Okay. Have the Browns kind of copied the Chiefs?
Exactly, but I think we've had some good plays, where we put Ford and Kareem at the whole Wildcat back and had some plays on that. But in this league, there's only so many plays you can run, so I think we're trying to find different ways we can score and get open. I don't know if they've taken place with or not, but I think you have to be creative in the red zone to make things happen.
Joe's hard. What does he do to open up the defense a little bit and just stretching the frame?
Yeah, I think it's watching the tape over the last few weeks. You're probably gonna scoot your safeties back a little bit. You guys are taking shots, field, and hopefully, for us, it lines the box on us. But there's a little stretch there where teams are going heavy and they're putting one more guy out. We had the block and back in the last couple weeks. So it's definitely helped balance things out a little bit.
Joe, what do you think that seems to be like Thursday night? Chance to catch in front of them.
High energy. It's been great all year. The home crowd's been awesome all year. But we're excited to get down there on Thursday. So they're still playing motivated football, and they're a big challenge for us. But I think the fans are great energy. I think we're bringing energy, and I think it's going to be a great atmosphere.
In this short week, is that how much of a challenge is that? And are you getting ready to figure out how to?
Yeah, I wish I probably had a few more days, but it's everybody's a little beat up right now. So I'll do my best to be out there, and we'll go from there. You go out there and you play Thursday, you get the weekend off. So that's all I'm thinking about right now is just going out there and do what we can to try and get a win, and then we'll have a little bit of time off.
Joel Miles said a couple weeks ago that Dr. Seuss couldn't write this season. It's just been so abstract and surreal. You kind of feel the same way that this path to 10 and 5 has been, let's say, unorthodox.
Yeah, it's been a little different. I mean, the injuries and the quarterback situations and just it's the NFL, but the Cleveland Browns NFL in its own unique way. But we've stressed it all along. I mean, since Coach Spencer's been here, he's stressed it all along. And it sounds cliche, but if you focus on the week at hand and try not to look at too much of the big picture, people tend to believe that stuff. So we're just trying to go 1-0 and we'll see what happens.
When you say it sounds cliche, I mean, why do you think guys have wanted this year? It's the Kevin's messaging.
We have to, right? Like when you go out there and your fourth and fifth tackles and your fourth quarterback of the year. Your best offensive player, Nick Chubb's been out, all season. You have to focus on there's really nothing else you can do. Coming in, Jaron coming out the streets, like, what else can he focus on? He has to get ready to play one game, play that game. And so that's just been our mantra, and he's talked about being resilient, since he's been here as well, and I think this group just shows, like, hey, we have some really guys.
You've talked about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've been doing this a long time. Like, is it a shot like that when the guy just picks you off? Does that still catch you off guard?
Yeah. It was an ET, and I was trying to close the A gap. My D tackle was rushing pretty hard inside, so I was like, oh, I got this. I want to close it off. I feel it, and I peeked like at the last second, and he just. Some guys, like the pick and roll that where they'll kind of, if they have a seam, they'll go try and sack the quarterback, and he was trying to headhunt me a little bit. So it's part of the game. If I have a shot and he's rushing, I'm going to try and take that too. So it's part of it. To catch off guard, honestly, like if my back wasn't messed up, like I would have popped up, just as quick and been fine. But like the impact of hitting the ground was what kind of jolted me a little bit. But it's part of the game.
Hey, Joe.
I know, we watched the replay of it.
What were you saying, Sean?
Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
It was about the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
No. You know what I mean? So,